Once more, we meet with the man that wrote the economic revolution of the century, known to be an eye doctor, successful eye doctor, having 3 PhDs from recognized universities in the field of economics after a long journey with medicine and with surgeries. Now, he is trying to make a different kind of surgery, a surgery that makes all happy, a change, a real change in the mindset of societies and the attitude of those in power and the behavior of the people as a whole. He is trying to make a change through a revolution that will make the poor no more poor, and the addicts no more addicts, and the terrorists no more terrorists. He wants to do all that through stopping taxes and interests of all those greedy banks that are operated by the capitalist machine of the world. He realized long ago, 2-3 years ago, that America is a giant oak tree that has no roots, but has rotten roots rather, and has no stems in it, and of course falling leaves all over the place. And he speculated that one day it will fall on the head of those that are seeking protection under its branches without leaves. So you can imagine the pain that comes through such a huge fall that we have witnessed in the last months. I think all of us noticed what the mother of capitalism, the United States, did to the world, living in credit all the time, causing crunch to all the economies of the world, creating a chaos. With Dr. Khan, we will start this program. But let me first welcome our audience also who are participating with us in this program today, who will definitely give us a contribution that will make it a very good program, hoping with good results for all of us. Dr. Khan, can you give us a briefing about the book that we have translated 2 years back, The Economic Revolution of the Century, the idea behind the book, and later I will expect you to tell us how did you convert it into a TV program. Thank you very much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, I am once again in front of you with my old mission, and this is my mission of my life. I have done something for the human being in the field of science, but that is not enough. And I want to bring a green revolution, not a bloody revolution, in which everybody should be happy and all sorts of ills of poverty are removed. My claims are that within 30 days, the recession will be reversed, not stopped. Number 2, any state implementing this system will collect whole year budget within few days and much more by the end of the month, and much bigger scope of getting this budget without raising any taxes. The third thing will be the millions will be employed within 30 days depending on the population. Your cost of living and cost of production will be cut down to less than 50%. And there will be no more interest. The capital system is dead and gone and will be buried alive, whatever is left. A new system will emerge, which is the savior and is an Islamic system, and this system will prevail till the doomsday. Now, how this thing will happen, I will just give you a brief summary.
Please.
Every government floats bonds, and I am also saying, yes, float bonds. Their bonds are interest-based. My bonds are not interest-based. Their bonds People cannot buy it. They are bought by the institutions and the big people. My bonds can be bought even by a beggar. Their bonds cannot be utilized in the private and the government sector to reduce the cost of living. My bonds will produce this sort of protection, that 60% discount will be given in all government sectors, in the sense that your bill of $100 can be paid by $40 if it is the case of America. How this will happen? The government float bonds. I said yes, you are floating bonds, but float bonds in the other three different conditions. What? Anybody who is giving $100,000 to the government will give you a rate of 5. There's $500,000 bonds will be given to you. You use it on all government sector without any exception. So the example is $100 bill, you pay 200 bonds. 200 bonds will, if you divide by 5, it is $40. So instead of $100, you are paying $40. Anything. This is the one condition government says. The government says this rate is only for the first 30 days. Second 30 days the rate will be 4, and the next throughout the year rate will be 3. So it's up to you for the same amount. So anybody who's giving 100,000, government says take this. Second, government says every day there will be $100 million price draw from these bonds, from the numbers picked up. Third thing is this, at least 10 million duty free option if you give the government $100,000. These are the three conditions which, if you implement it by selling these bonds are not debt to the government. The government gives you back a currency which is in the form of bond, which you can use it for all your government services. Private sector, the formula is different, but this is the guy. Now who will sell these bonds? All unemployed people at 10% commission. 10% commission, they can keep it 1% or even 10% or 9% depending on they will have a quota of $300,000 they can sell in 1 month, or whole year they can sell it in one go. It all depends on the investor. Any investor who is known to be clever, he will go for it and he will ask this the commission agent, the selling agent, that give me your commission of 5%, 6%, and I will buy your whole year quota. Why you to wait for 1 year? And this fellow knows that he can get this 100,000 back within 30 days. So he goes and buys this stock of bonds and comes home and starts selling it at the rate of 5 for each. $1 give me, I will give you 5 bonds. Don't care for the government. Government is 100,000, but I am giving you 5. So he keeps on selling his bonds of stock every day till he gets his money back.
Thank you. Dr. Khan, it's, I think, apparent that a lot of the people that have seen the programs earlier, who called us or sent us email, they say, this is a good idea, this is a dream, this is maybe, what do you call in simple words, an ideal, utopic utopia. So, I mean, now people wanted actually direct solutions. When you are starving, you don't want to wait for the whole world to be educated to change to what you say. This is one of the comments that we have received. Other comments such as, if, for example, we are going to change the world, as you claim to do, you want to stop the taxes, cancel them, and the interests, and of course, you want to stop terrorism, and you want to eliminate poverty, and you want to eradicate a lot of things that are, according to you, wrong, by having this coupon system. I mean, is the coupon system in itself a system to change society, or is it a system within the economy, within the application of the economic systems that already existed? In the past, we had, different economies. We had two powers, the socialists, communists in one side, and the capitalists on the other side. Now, what really matters very much is how can you implement this in such a way. Let's talk, for example, about interests as a subject that will, of course, make a lot of people look into, because a lot of them are, you can't buy a car without interest. You can't buy a house without interest. You can't buy a motorcycle without interest. You can't buy furniture with the high purchase, without interest. You cannot do a lot. And sometimes now you have even places renting you suites for marriage and you pay interest. Giving you anything, you pay interest. Using the credit, you pay interest. Paying the telephone bill, not only that it is high priced, but also you pay on top of it also interest. So how can you do that in reality? I mean, in so many words, a lot of people say that interest is riba, right? In your Islamic belief, right? So, I mean, we will talk about that later, but I want to take an input from you and then from the public, please.
Yeah. The first thing is this: I have not told not to take interest. I have not said stop that thing which is running.
You said you want to eradicate interest.
No, I want to eradicate it by option. By giving them an option, take these.
So you think by implementing your system, it will eradicate itself?
Automatically. Why?
Yeah, okay.
Why? Because I said, okay, sell your bonds and sell these bonds as well.
Okay.
And these bonds, selling these bonds, government has got a zero risk. They are not paying anything. They are not even printing money. Printing bond is not paid by this government, which I will explain.
So what's the difference between printing money and printing bonds?
Printing money is a debt.
Okay.
Printing bond is not that this bond, because government is taking dollar from you.
So they are not compelled.
They are not. If you want to print bonds, then you have to print bonds in the sense that you print bonds to sell it with dollars. If you have a dollar, you will take the bonds.
Okay.
If you don't have dollars, you cannot take bonds.
All right.
So backing currency is the dollar. Your main currency, whatever is the government, the country's currency is the backing currency. So a government is selling these things and taking that currency back from the people. And the people, why the people will jump on it? They have 60% discount. They have everyday price draw, so many price. They have a duty-free option. These are the incentive given to the people. If I want to think about it, why should I not do it? Why should I buy petrol at, say, about in UAE 12 dirham? Why not I should go and pay
it's not 12 dirham.
Sorry, 6 dirham.
Okay.
I will pay with 12 bonds.
Yeah, okay.
12 bonds are 2.5 dirham. So why I should not do that? Electricity cost, whatever, 100 dirham, I will pay it in 200 bonds or coupons.
Okay.
So this incentive is based in everybody's mind.
All right. Now, I think what you're trying to say, that by introducing this coupon, you will eliminate at least that point of interest.
This interest is this, because government will collect huge amounts upfront.
Okay.
A lot of money. People, 1 million, 10% of the people of a country does, they will collect an amount of whole year budget within 24 hours. Okay. Nobody will wait for the thing to come.
So would the government then use these coupons and when, take interest on them?
There is no interest.
No interest.
The government says, I have given you the money, you use it. And this money which you have given it is my money. I have not to give it back. I will put it in the banks and tell the banks, I will give you 80% liquidity and you bring 20% investors.
And then make investors.
And no interest, on no interest.
And make investments.
And make investment on a proper investment, proper feasibility study. These banks will have more jobs, more customers.
Okay.
Once they have more.
So that applies to the banks, applies to the companies, and applies to the insurance, and applies to every walks of life.
Every walks of life.
Okay.
Government has got, because the private sector's money has gone to the government account.
Okay. Now, if we do that,
yes,
right, how can we shift from being a tail in the Islamic countries, being a tail for the capitalist system, right, into an independent economy in each and every country, as you claim to think, and be able to survive without capitalism supporting you and giving you the backbone all the time? Because in one way or another, they're serving each other, these Islamic systems that exist, and the capitalist system led by America and the West, of course, they are now controlling the arena, controlling the situation in total, right? So if you say, okay, I want to apply this in even one province of Egypt or Pakistan or Sudan, like Darfur, for example, which is suffering hugely, or in Gaza or West Bank, or in one of the Emirates, or in one of these GCC countries, or wherever, right? Now, if you want to apply this independently in any country, do you think that will be possible to survive?
Yeah.
How?
The question is good in the sense these countries are now surviving on aids. Aid from IMF, aid from America, which comes with the drones in case of Pakistan.
Okay.
Pakistan gets aid with the drones. They're being attacked. If this system is applied in Pakistan, Pakistan is self-sufficient. They say, I don't, thank you very much. IMF, I don't want enough of your aid.
If you are self-sufficient, why are you taking loans from America? Why are you taking what they call, charities from America, for that matter?
It's because they are not implementing this system, because the people who are sitting there, they are on the IMF list, paid list.
Okay.
So they are not accepting this, but there will be a time when they are forced to do it. People will rise against that. They are being supported by the capitalist system. If you want to destroy a country, give them aid. This is an open fact.
So the aids that are given to these Muslim countries or third world countries by America is to spoil them, and it is actually to the leaderships rather than to the people.
Exactly. It doesn't go to all these aids, 90% ends up into the pockets of the big people.
Okay,
Poor people still suffer.
Now, I wanted to have a little contribution, little it may be, but I think it will be a great contribution by the public here,
Yes.
by our audience. And I will start with Dr. Magdi.
يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا ذروا ما بقي من الربا فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله.
Okay.
And this is the case. Actually, what happened from the last years till now, what you are saying, that the economic crisis, this is, we can say, this is a punishment from the God. Because all the economic around all the world are running with the interest, which you are saying in Islam is riba. So, I think this is the time, and the time has come, really the time has come to change our thinking. Very simply, if we are really keen to solve this problem, and if we are really keen to find the proper solution, we should go back to the Quran.
How can you change the thinking?
I will tell you something very simple. I will tell you some word, a very simple word in English, saying why we need to change our thinking.
No, how is more important. Why we all know why.
I will answer you very carefully. But let me tell you, please, this paragraph.
Okay.
Why we need to change our thinking.
Okay.
Because they say that if I always think what I always thought, I will always do what I have always done.
Okay.
And if I will always do what I have always done, I will always get what I have always got, and I will never progress.
Okay.
Very simply now, after a long time, we reach to this crisis. So if we are intelligent enough, we should start to think what actually, why we reach to that stage. So this is the time, this is the moment of truth. We should start to rethink again about how to run our show, how to run the economic in all the world.
It's very true what you have said, that if we have been doing the same thing for the last 20 years,
Yes.
in the same way, no matter which and who did it, they will always get the same results. I believe in that. Okay,
that's why I'm stressing that this is the moment of truth.
Now,
The real leader, the Islamic leader in the world, really keen to solve, this is their chance.
Okay.
If we will really read the Quran and understand exactly what is mentioned there from the God, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will understand that everything, if we will implement it carefully by the meaning, we will be in a very, very, very good position.
I have no objection
From my
to that.
heart, and
Okay.
in behalf of whatever 2 billion Muslim or 10 billion Muslim, I am inviting all the leader Islamic people to put their hands and shoulder to shoulder. If they are really real Muslim, I'm stressing
they're not.
real Muslim, they should act, and this is their chance to prove that with the Islam, everything is there, and we can solve this problem. I am sure, and they are sure, and even the other people are sure, but it's a matter of something else.
Now, okay, this is what you're talking.
This is what
Okay,
I want to
I
really
thank you
express.
very much, Dr.
I have
Majdi,
gone through the study of Dr. Khan.
Yes.
I appreciate all his view because it is totally from A to Z. It is through the Islamic approach. So unless we will be able to negotiate with him or to understand exactly what he wants exactly, he needs the support. He needs the people to understand what is in his mind. He needs, if we are really
He needs
willing.
all these things, but
If
what
we
the
are really
people
willing.
need is food.
My dear sir, please, if there is a will, there is a way. If they are really willing, they will find the solution for that, even to support him much more. Nobody's perfect, but the
Okay.
team is perfect.
All right.
Dr. Khan is not perfect, but all the people are perfect. Because Dr. Khan by himself, he will not do everything from A to Z. But we are all together, we will be able to do that.
I believe what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, please,
Yes.
that the team thinking
Yes.
and the team leadership that was at the beginning of Islam should prevail also now, so that we can have a different result to our way of thinking that is actually in place at the moment, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
let me just go into what you have said and revise that in relation to interests in the
Yes.
banks or insurance companies or housing or whatever.
Yes.
Now, the one thing that really bothers me very much sometimes, and I am very grateful to your contribution to this,
Thank you very much.
that it is theoretical. Now, I cannot bring a Muslim leader and put him in place. Neither can all the Muslim people bring a real Muslim and put him to run a country of all the Muslim countries.
Let me disturb you for one
Just,
second.
okay, let me finish and I will give you all the floor to
I will
talk.
be glad to answer
Now,
each
we
and every
cannot
point.
do this.
Yes.
I mean, although this is not a political debate, it's
Yes.
economical, but of course, politics and economics can never divide.
Yes.
You know, they are almost, one complements the other.
Okay.
Now, what actually is the matter to Dr. Khan and to me and to you and to all the people that are involved in this process
Yes.
is very simple. For any Muslim leader to become a Muslim leader, a real one, to run the economy in the way that Dr. Khan wishes or you actually also want, or like I also dream of, then we have to change the three basic things. In Quran also it says God does not change people unless they also are willing to change themselves. لا يغير الله ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Right? And nafs, which is the person, the personality of the individual, is not divided from the character. And both are not divided from the fact that they have to change the mindset, the attitude that we have towards each other, rulers and people, and of course the behavior of the people in general. Now what he's trying to do is make that mindset change happen through economics. Can he do that? I don't know. I mean, I'm debating this with him. He believes that the change must also, in agreement with that I say and what you said,
Yes.
that if you continue to do, no matter what political and economic system you bring into Egypt or to Pakistan or
Yes.
to Jordan
Yes.
or to any country,
Yes.
if you do not actually have a different approach to solve the problem, then you will get the same results, even if it is different people that came to do it.
Let me
Yes,
just
please.
clear. I would like to add one more point.
Yes,
please.
go on.
With due respect for all whatever you said, I would like to highlight something very simple.
Go on.
If we are really keen to solve any problem, let me tell you simply, the nature of the life is always keep change. The life is always keep change. Today, now we are sitting in the cold water, tomorrow is a hot, and the nature of the life is always change. Change is the part of our life. So, let me tell you hadith, Qudsi, or hadith an Nabi alayhi salam, saying that, let me tell you something very simple, just to imagine why I'm stressing for the Quran is al-hal. Al-Islam is huwa al-hal. Why? They're saying that all your knowledge and all the knowledge of all the people around all the world, from the beginning of the life up to end of their life, equal to one mu'adla tisawi وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا.
Okay.
We should keep in our mind.
You have not been given
وَمَا
more
أُوتِيتُم
than a little of knowledge and science. Yes.
We are وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا.
Yes.
That means that still, if we will live up to 1,000 years, still, وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And take this keep this in mind, that we should understand that we should have a very open mind, very flexible mind. That whatever applicable today could not be applicable tomorrow.
No, Dr. Majdi,
This
why?
I am stressing for change. Why
Okay,
we need to change?
every
we need
society.
the people who's having an open mind. We need the people who's having flexible mind. We
No.
can never accept everything all our life. We need to change. We
Okay.
need to change the mind of the people.
Dr. Magdi is right, but how?
How? This is what I'm trying
Incentive.
That is why. That's why.
Incentive is the only thing which is human nature.
That's why, Dr. Khan, please.
Yes.
We are working around the same circle. We are saying how. This is what I'm saying. We need the people who's having open mind. We need the people who's having flexible mind. If 200 years back, who can think for a moment that we can go from one country to other country through the airlines within 1 hour, from this place to that place? Who can think for a moment that?
Yeah.
Who can think 100 years back
Now
that
you
we
have-
can reach to the moon?
Now,
if,
okay.
if 100 years back somebody said that we could reach to the moon, they could put him in jail, and they said that he's mad. So, change comes from this point. When we are saying how, and it's not possible, it's difficult.
How does change come?
This is proving that we are in the right track. Because 100 years back, 200 years back, many people have said same. When somebody said that we can reach to the moon, what they said about him? Okay, we can move from one country to one other country within 1 hour, not within 1 week. They said so. So
Okay.
they are saying so, same thing, same scenario repeating now, that why you should change. I am assuring you, we need to change, and there is no way. If we will not change, we will never solve the problem, and believe me, whatever we are reading on a daily basis on the newspaper, here or there, all our hope, we will never reach to the proper solution unless we will go to the actual Quran, what he said, and we will try to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ.
I will agree to that.
This is
I will
really
have
my
no
heart,
I
and
will
this is
have
my-
no
what I'm
argument
saying.
with this point, but I will raise the point that, of course,
Yes.
Dr.
The thing
Khan
is
was
this-
saying incentives.
Incentive is the only way to change. Human nature, I will give you an example. In private sector, there is a progress. In government sector, there is no progress because they get pay and they go to sleep. In private sector, there is hire and fire. Now what is the situation? Government gives them incentive, take these bonds and help yourself, and it helps the government as well. We are not making any change. It's just the incentive. Give incentive. God has given you showed you two ways. This is wrong, this is right. Here you will get this, here you will get. Paygambars have got, grades. Angels have grades. People have grades in Jannah, the same thing. So these are the grades which government, why Allah Ta'ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are computer in the hands of God. He created us and He knows if incentive is not given to this creation, it will not work.
Dr. Majdi raised a very interesting point. he actually brought Quran into it.
Yes.
And Hadith. But you see, there are countries, and of course, as a Muslim, I cannot object to this. I mean, I accept this in principle. But you see, nobody dreamt of China being the great power, or India being the great power they are now. They are not using Quran. They are not using Hadith. So why are they great powers and we cannot be? We have all the ingredients, all the oil in the Muslim countries, all the natural resources are in the Muslim countries, from Nigeria to Pakistan to North Africa to Sudan to the GCC to all these countries. We have almost the wealth of the world in our hands.
Yeah.
Yet, you see, our excuse for not being successful is we're not implementing Islam. India is not implementing Islam. China is not implementing Islam. North Korea, a small country, is not implementing Islam. So why do we have to use this as an excuse? Just a minute.
I'm not saying I'm implementing Islam. I am saying give the system. If this system is Islamic based, it's not my fault. This system eradicates interest, it's not my fault. This system eradicates taxes, it's not my fault. I'm just saying give the system to the people, whether he's a Christian, he's a Muslim, he's a Hindu.
So what makes it an Islamic then?
Islamic is because these all principles are based in Islam.
So where?
In Quran it says in Ayat Tawbah, Ayat 29, that jizya are taken from the non-Muslims.
Okay.
Jizya is a tax. If we remove the tax, interest is all the time written in the Quran, it is a haram.
Okay.
And it is something. So I have taken these two away, but that doesn't mean I'm saying you become Muslim. I'm not saying India too, you become Muslim.
But how can India or China or America apply a system that you call Muslim?
No, I'm not calling, I'm saying it is incentive-based system which Quran says, whether you take it or you leave it. Anybody who is wise, he will take this system because it helps them.
No, there is no objection to that.
That's it.
But I want to know where it is Islamic.
Islamic is this, that it removes the riba, it removes the taxes, it removes poverty.
It removes the taxes.
It removes poverty, everything. This is
Ultimately,
and
through a huge raising of money, it will also eliminate
all the bad
terrorism.
Because the terrorism is only one thing is poverty. Poverty
and wars.
And wars.
Yeah, okay.
This is what it is.
But you see, what causes wars is the greed of the West by manufacturing a lot of arms to be sent elsewhere so that they can be used, so the world can...
Now they are in their own trap.
Okay.
They are trapped. And this is my another prediction, which I made 3 years ago.
Okay.
That economy of the states I mentioned is just like a giant oak tree, which has rotten roots, hollow stems, dying leaves.
Okay.
And at any time, this mighty tree might fall down and bury all the nation under its shade, relaxing under its shade. Now what I am saying is this, same thing is going to happen. American soldiers cannot go back under these conditions unless and until they change their mind. And I have also written into my book that within 6 months, all the American soldiers will leave prosperous and stable Iraq and Afghanistan without firing a bullet. This I will prove it, and I have said this before.
Why?
Why? You give them, they are spending, on each soldier they are spending thousands of dollars. They are killing their soldiers, and they are killing thousands of Afghans.
Do they really care for who's being killed?
Yeah, they care now. Now they are saying they are going into the ditch, and they cannot help themselves. Ask Obama. Every day it is in his head. What is happening? How 40,000 more soldiers to Iraq, to Afghanistan. Where will they stand?
Mentioning Obama, he says now, forget about the war in Iraq, because I think it's a scandal that everybody knows about. So
same thing
now I'm talking in Afghanistan and Pakistan,
all
against Iran, against Lebanon, against the Palestinians. It's
all
over.
No, I give you one example.
Now,
I give you one.
Okay.
If it will spend less than 20 times the money what it is spending now, he should start building roads, hotels, hospitals, mosques, everything, and employ 5-10 million people. Afghan terrorism is gone.
Now they're saying in the West, G20 and G8 and all this, Just a moment, let me finish the question.
Yes.
Now they are saying that they have gone through the difficult times, and now the economy is being, rebuilt in a much, more
Yes.
basic strengths than before.
I give you an example. Their bankers are sitting. Can you print money and throw it into the banks and it will solve the problem?
So what is the solution?
Solution is this: don't print money, print bonds, sell them like this,
Okay.
and the money will come to you on its own.
So
the money will come on its own.
From what you're saying,
without interest.
okay, you want your bonds to go through like all other bonds.
Yes.
And through that, you will make
Lot of money.
a lot of money that actually is not in your hands, it's in the hands of the same government that is running that capitalist system.
Now, yes, you're right. But the thing is this: when they see, they will not put taxes, because if they put taxes, it's an unpopular thing. They have why they will put taxes?
But they can still do it if they want to.
If they want it, I don't mind, but they will never do it, because the people will not be happy. That government will not be stable. If they have a lot of money, why they
They will not vote it into government.
Yes.
But you are not voting people into government anyway,
No,
in Pakistan or in Egypt
No,
or in all these countries.
any country who takes the system will be a stable government forever.
Now let's assume America opts for this. Now
Yes.
Obama is saying that he has made a little change.
What change? The problem is the poverty.
Okay.
I tell you one thing: you remove poverty in the world. Why in Switzerland and Norway there is no terrorism? Why only in Afghanistan, where there is hardly any job?
Because all the monies of the Pakistanis and the Arabs and the Iranians are in Switzerland.
No, this is what I am saying. If this money can be utilized in the same country without any objection, these banks will put 80% and rest bring 20%. Which company will not do?
Don't you think it's pathetic
That-
to call the Americans to apply a system that you and Dr. Majdi call Islamic?
No, I'm not saying. I am saying it is Islamic-based principles.
I see.
I'm not saying it's Islamic.
So this is not only for the Muslim people.
No, this is.
We're not actually calling for the gathering of
No,
the
no,
Muslim
no,
people,
no,
be
no,
in
no.
hand, one hand,
No,
and do this. We
is-
wanted it for the world.
For
It's
the
a
world.
solution for the world, and not for the Muslims.
No.
I
This is
see.
for everybody.
Thank you very much.
As you know, you are a doctor, and you know some illness and diseases can be eradicated simply through simple medicine.
Yeah.
And some others, to be successful, it needs surgical operations,
Yes.
which is very painful. So I think to implement your operation, it will be more than painful, more than surgeries in your other field, because you know how much incentives you will get to the rulers or to the government, which has all the money of the country in their pockets.
Yeah.
How can you do that? Number
Yeah.
one. Number two,
Yeah.
I'm sure they are going to face a big fight from the other countries on which they depend on. So how can they face that? And if you can see nowadays, countries are occupying countries to get the money to afford food, and also to get dependence on them. So if you release those countries as much as you are freeing the Iraq or Afghanistan from the American occupation.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Mr.
Mr. Fatih, first thing is this system what we're saying that why these government will change, there is a time for the change. Now if you see Pakistan, if you see all these poor countries where there are demonstration, everything, not a single government is stable. The reason is the economic depression. They know it. If they bring this system, they will remain kings, and they have a lot of things for them. There are 7 floodgates of money which this system will open for them. Everybody will be happy, even they will be happy. There will be big projects in which they will have cuts, no problem. But at least the poor people will get something.
But how much blood they are ready to pay?
The thing is this: it's in trillions. It's in trillions the amount of rupee or a dollar what you will get, and in a matter of few months, that they will have no dearth. At least there is a limit to everything. So they will have a lot of money, and their government will be stable. They won't be thrown away next month. Why they do all this? They collect all the money because they know tomorrow I will not be there. If I am not there, what will happen? So this is what is happening. Once they know that they have made these people very happy, they will not do this. We have a lot of money. They have a lot of money. Where government is stable, that's it.
From the past discussions, Dr. Khan, I understand that your system is like a summary of the experiences that mankind had witnessed through history. And I remember in one of the episodes we were talking about the fact that we have gone through different stages as humans, from the Stone Age to the agrarian age, to the industrial age, and of course to the IT age, and now we live in what they call the knowledge age, where we have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that we need a lot of big machines to manage, right? Now, if this is the result of your, let's say, experience, looking at the different stages in humankind life and in their economic practices, from feudalist system to the capitalist system, through, of course, socialism and communism and all the other systems. There are maybe 30 different systems of economics in this world. Now, what system do you think your system will be called?
This system will be called just system, not Islamic system, but this is a system which appeals to the human nature. Give it any name. I'm not bothered about it. Islam will say it is Islamic system. India will say it is Indian system. America will say it is American system. I will give you a small example. Obama is buying toxic assets of trillions, printing money and buying it, throwing it. I said, don't print it. Sell bonds. You will have much more trillions. You have much more trillions to give it to those banks and become the shareholder. Sleeping. You are not touching them. Interest is gone. They will have more profits. They will have more people who can get all these things, big things which they get it. So this is what another thing is.
Anybody to, yes?
Yeah, please. Now,
Give me your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Khalid. I'm pharmacist.
Okay.
I have two questions, Dr.
Yeah.
Khan. First
All right.
question, if you want to implement this, the coupon system, from which countries, how will we implement this? For example, we start from one country, two countries, how it will be? Okay, and is there any cooperation between the countries on implementing this coupon system? Second question, for countries that they are bonded with dollar, okay, if we said that we implement already the coupon system on these countries, this will affect, how will affect on these countries, okay, if the dollar go up or goes down, okay? So this are my two questions.
First thing is this, any country, it's an option to any country to sell their bonds. They are already selling the bonds. True? Every country sells it. But that is debt instrument. This instrument is debtless, is no interest. So you and the government is not spending a single penny. Even the company which will float these bonds through the government will print these bonds, will do everything, will hire these people in millions, and the government is sitting, is nothing doing anything and getting all the money. So if one country, I'm saying, one state implements this system, the other country will have to take this system, otherwise they cannot survive. So this is something, only it has to come at one place, that's all. It is such a incentive-based system. I'm not calling Islamic system. I'm saying incentive-based system which is built up in our nature. God has built up, and nobody will disprove this fact. That incentive will carry us through wherever we want it.
You mean to say capitalism is not based on incentives?
No, it's not incentive.
So what basis is it on?
It is based on interest.
Interest.
Interest is another incentive for the rich people, for poor, not for the poor people.
So it's for the have and not for the have-not.
Not for the have.
So you say that if 10 people of any country adopt this system and support it, they will gather or collect, for that matter, 10 times their annual budget.
More than that.
But only 10% of the people are able to do that anyway.
Here it is.
Because of the rich.
No.
The wealth is in the hands of the 10% of the people. It's not in the hands of the 90% of the people.
I will give you the 90% people.
So they will buy and they will dominate and they will control.
No, I will give you an example. I am an investor. I will go to this person who is an agent, 10% commission. I will ask him, give me your 5% and I will buy your whole year quota. And I do this every day, investing only $100,000 or 100,000 rupees, whatever it is. I come home and I will start selling these bonds. I am giving you, my rate is only also 5. I am also giving you 5. Give me $1. I will find. Every poor person will join this.
Does your system include penalties on those that are of the greedy nature?
There won't be. Greed is why. There is a reason behind greed. Greed, the cake is only this much. And greed comes when the things are small, less. They want to take away tomorrow, they may not get it. If the thing is such a big, huge, greed will automatically reduce. My system, how? Because they are getting more money everywhere.
Dr. Majdi says you have to change the nature
No,
of the people,
nature
the
of
mind of the people,
No, this system.
the attitude of the people,
No.
the greed,
No.
which is the behavior of the people.
No,
How can you do it?
You cannot do it by force, but you can
How
do it
can
by,
you do it?
by incentive.
How?
This is incentive. I give you this 100,000, you give it to the government gives you bonds, you have a cheaper, you can get this 100,000
Let
back.
me take input from the
Yes.
floor. Do you agree?
Please.
Anybody who wants to speak?
Yes.
Me?
Faddal?
Yeah, I disagree actually for that, because I believe not all the government are implementing the beneficial projects and ideas for their population.
Okay.
So it will be very hard for them. As you know, I can give a simple example. If you look to the international currency, dealing currency, like the dollars nowadays, which is dollars.
Okay.
Nowadays, China was not able to change it, to use their currency, and it's very beneficial for every country. In my country, for example, the Swiss canal currency is this dollar. We cannot make it by the Egyptian pound, which will
But
be
can
very
you
beneficial.
make coupons for the people working in the Swiss channel?
What?
Can you make coupons for them to deal with instead of dollars and Egyptian pounds?
We would have make it the Egyptian pound instead of dollars.
But can you make it even the Egyptian pounds? They don't even have control for the use of the Egyptian pound. How can they
Exactly.
have control for the use of such a thing in coupons?
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Now, I want to take from your views, do you really think you have more than 10 people who controls the money in the society? There are not more than 10 people. So what can they do? If the rich people buy all these coupons, what can we do?
Yeah, I answer your question. Rich people, even if they buy in billions, they will burn their hands.
Why?
Why? Because there is nobody is buying those bonds. What will they do bonds? Bonds, you can only use it in government services or in the private sector. What will happen? They keep the bonds. They depend on what? Tomorrow the rate will be different.
No, they will resell it to people.
If somebody's already, millions of people are selling it, not 10%, millions. They are selling.
I mean, anybody from the gentleman here who has enough money will buy all the coupons
Apple cannot buy
and
it.
resell it for the others.
No, this is
and
what
get them 2%,
no,
not 5%.
No. Government says no restriction on bonds. You give me the money, I will sell. Unlimited. There is no restriction.
Okay.
Those bonds are restricted.
Let's see what the floor says.
No, those bonds. Let me clarify the question.
Don't clarify.
The bonds which are being sold now, only certain amount and certain dates. Here, government says you bring the money, you take it. You take it billions, I don't mind. Bring the billions here, put it, and I will give you. And the thing is this: there is no hoarding. You cannot hoard these bonds. This is the reason. If you're in country, Mr. Fatih, if your person wants to buy electricity, pay electricity bill or a petrol, will you go Egyptian pound? He will not.
Okay.
He will say, I will buy in this.
Thank you. Yes, doctor.
Just
the name, please.
My name is Sahbi. I have one question for doctor. We all know that bonds are fluctuating with interest rates. So now we are in crisis. Interest rates are very low, and interest rates normally should go up after the crisis. We cannot leave in crisis. This crisis is not for maybe 3 or 4 years. This is the worst scenario.
Dr. Khan?
Yeah. The thing is this: these bonds what you're talking are what they are selling. My bonds are different. My bonds are zero interest. The government says, give me the money, I give you the bonds. And there's no interest on it. And there is shelf life is unlimited. Whenever you want it, you spend it. You can sell it in the market. You can use it as yourself. You can use it in the draw. It is up to you. The duty-free option is also there. So my bonds are different from the bonds which you are taking. It will go cost. In this, there is no interest involved. Everything what the government is selling is through bonds. They pay me the bonds, don't pay. It replace the whole currency in the government sector only, not in the private sector. So in the government sector, everything you can buy through bonds, which is 60% cheaper. So why not? And the bonds cannot, you can buy in bonds in billions, but tomorrow there is no taker. There are billions of people who are selling these bonds. Although rate is higher, the next is higher, but the profit, this is a reasonable profit. This is a business, not a riba. Tomorrow the rate are 4, yes, you can buy whatever the normal market is rate, you buy it. In the beginning rate is very cheaper, and now it is costlier. So everybody will buy jump in the front stage. Why not? Do it.
Dr. Khan,
Yes.
now what you're saying all the time is these bonds will be a solution to all the problems. It's a fix. It's just a magical fix, right, to all things, which is all right.
Not magical, but practical fix.
Practical fix, okay. I mean, it would have been better if it was magical anyway, but I mean, pragmatic fix for all the problems.
All the problems.
Okay, now, I have the view of many people that I discussed this issue with after we've done the first 6 episodes. People think that you need to have bases. How can you have the enemy of change changing, which is the system? The present system that exists does not want any change because they're very comfortable. Some of them want their children to follow suit and take power. Some of them, they want their brothers and their fathers and their grandchildren to do the same. And how can you change the minds of these people, or the mindsets rather, of these people and make it possible? Now you will answer me to that, but I think before that,
Yes.
the gentleman here on the corner, left corner, Mr. Doctor Amr, you want to say something, you want to ask something.
It's regarding to your theory. It's very good for governments. Is it good for companies and banks which are suffering now from toxic assets?
Yeah. It is now.
And how?
I give you an example. Government collects a lot of money, and the private sector, all the accounts of the private sector have gone into the government account. The banks are crying. They say, you have taken all our money. He said, no, my money is lying in your bank, but it only changed the name from private sector to the government sector. You bring a 20% investor, I give you 80% without interest, and I am your sleeping partner. I will not disturb you anyway, and I will give you all those things below cost. I am your sleeping partner. You take 60%, give me 40%. Once the government offers this, which company will not?
Of the net profit, you mean?
Of the net profit.
Yeah, okay.
Which company will not join hands with the government? You tell me. The margin of profit will rise. The banks who have 10% clients, now they have 1,000 clients because everybody wants to join this. No interest, no collateral. No collateral. You don't have to put lands at, you put 20% a deposit in the bank. The bank will follow your instruction and see whether feasibility is proper. Done by the state bank, proved, government hands over the money, not to the investor, but it will set up the business for you and see the business as well. Running cost will be given from your 20%.
Thank
so
you.
You cannot run away.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Can you answer to my question,
Yes.
please? How can the enemy of the system, which is the present systems, they are not going to go for change.
Okay.
They are actually very comfortable with things as they are, so why should they change?
Okay.
It needs a lot of effort from them.
Okay, now.
Actually, they are anti-change. So how do you expect them to apply the system?
Okay, I just give you. Obama is in the top position. You agree on that or not?
I mean, the system is on the top opposition. They put Obama to be
their
representative.
Okay, and Obama promised what? No taxes, no this, and now he's in trouble. If he does not adopt some system like this, he will be out of
But
favor.
how can he adopt your system and be against a system that he actually was brought to power through?
That system has failed. But
that system he represents, he cannot go against it.
No, it's not going. We're not saying go against it. You know, the beauty of this system is we're not saying remove that system. No.
What are you saying?
We're just saying sell these bonds. That's all.
You're saying I'm a replacement to the dollar?
Yeah, but option. You can still pay with the dollar.
I know.
You can still pay with everything. You can banks can still charge interest. You can still float those bonds. I am not saying that don't do that. I'm saying just float these bonds. That's all.
All right.
My system is such a favorable system, such a friendly system that it does not say you don't do this or don't do this. No, there's no do's and do nots.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khan. At the end of this episode, I would just remind you of the theory. The idea is very simple. Dr. Khan is proposing a coupon system that is not contradictory to the systems that already exist. It goes parallel. It's just different. It brings more justice, he claims, and brings more peace. And it eradicates, as he says, lots of the evils, such as taxes, interests, terrorism, and most of all, poverty. Is such a dream possible? If it is possible, then let's try for it. And I think everything in theory is possible until we prove that it isn't. I will see you in the next episode of Economic Revolution of the Century with Dr. Niaz Ahmed Khan, author of the book. Thank you very much for tonight, and see you next week. Good night.